This last quarter is going to be quite uncertain in terms, as you said, policy from a U.S. elections perspective. You also have the Fed, whether they're going to hike in December or not. That's a huge kind of weight over the investment community.
What's the base case at BMI?
BMI, we think that they're going to hold fire until early 2017. We're a little bit less bullish in terms of the U.S. economy, and that's really our what's underpinning our core view for U.S. rates to remain on hold. We've seen a little bit of a mismatch or macro markets disconnect in the U.S. economy. So you have U.S. equities pushing a lot higher, yet the growth momentum isn't that strong in the U.S. And then you have valuations which are very high.
Here's the thing, though. I agree with you, and I think the US markets are especially due for a re-rating. But when you consider what oil is doing now, we are nudging $50 a barrel. We've surpassed $50 a barrel on Brent crude. It looks as though it's found a floor. That has implications for inflation expectations. It has implications for central bank policy as well. So perhaps the market's freaking out at the prospect of normalization happening sooner rather than later in a European context and a US context have some basis in reality, right?
Yeah, so from an oil perspective, I think the risks are certainly to the upside in terms of our interest rate forecast and inflation forecast. So obviously, higher oil prices would lead to higher inflation and higher inflation expectations, which could prompt the Fed to move a little faster than we're anticipating. But also, it could be positive for earnings for the oil and gas sector in the U.S., which has been a real drag on the U.S. Kind of earnings over the past few quarters. And if that actually turns into a positive early next year, for example, that could be quite positive for the U.S. economy.